Welcome everyone. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Making sure everything looks good and we're good. Having some beautiful weather. Let's go ahead and get rid of minimize this so I don't show up green for y'all. But yeah. No, I hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far. As far as what we're doing today, you know, we've been consistently practicing, and you know, improving yourself. Today, I kind of feel like I want to take a little bit of a break of that, kind of go back to our roots, and like I remember the first time I was actually like drawing. There was a game called Impossible Creatures. I don't know, not a lot of people that I know what I'm talking about when I say that, but it's a old PC game where it was RTS, and you make your own units by combining different animal DNA, and like you change, like depending on what part of what body you're able to like influence the stats, give it certain special abilities. Like the back legs of a lion will give it a leap, or the head of a whale will give it like a sonar attack, you know. And sorry, I'm getting a tickle in my nose, but yeah, I really loved it. So I remember drawing an elephant when I was younger, where it was just a giant ant with an elephant head. So like it was like little things like that. And then I drew like monsters and dragons and dinosaurs. Like a lot of my things were not really based in reality, which is why when I'm trying to draw from reference, I'm not good at it because that's just not how I drew. That's just not how I created. It was very much from the mind space of it all. So I didn't really learn the appropriate skills to take what I see and then be able to replicate that. And it's always been a frustrating thing, even when I was younger. So, you know, we're getting better at it, and it's but you know, sometimes you want to go back to what you're good at for a little bit to kind of give yourself a little bit of a confidence boost, you know? Because like drawings like what you're seeing right now, like it's outside of my comfort zone. I'm not used to drawing cutie things, though I do think I'm actually pretty good at it, for the most part. But like I definitely want to move forward with the aesthetic of like balancing between horror and cute, because I think they complement each other a lot, in that it kind of like the horror emphasizes the feeling of cuteness when you see it, and vice versa. And we'll touch this more when we go into like my philosophies and game design and things of that nature. But for the most part, there does seem to be a balance between humor, horror, and awe that I love to kind of get or figure out. And I'm working on the awe part. And what I mean by awe, I mean like a beautiful environment and watching the sunrise. That's awe. Like it's where there's this beauty and vastness and this sense of importance, smallness, or grandness. It's just kind of like an overwhelm of an emotion that kind of like settles you a bit. And when if you're able to get that balance right, where you have these moments of beauty, these moments of terror, and these moments of humor and levity, it really does make it so that you're able to take a deep breath and untense and relax and make it so you don't run into the situation where you just become desensitized. Where, because if it's horror all the time and it's constant and there's no up and down and there's no back and forth on it, you just become numb to it. Your body's really good at adjusting to things. So you need to be able to, you know, know not to just go full hog into one. You need to balance it out with, there needs to be a stress and a relax. Like, and that's just how we humans function. But as far as what we're looking at is my original drawing of Cat Hydra. Now, as far as the name for the Cat Hydra, they are going to be part of the stream as well, just as much as Mama Dodo is going to be. I want a good amount of interaction. Oh, I forgot. This is the one where this is shortly after Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 came out, and I drew a little Snuggie for him. Let me see. Yeah, this was the original. But the Cat Hydra, I mean, the story behind Cat Hydra is a litter of cubs that wanted to be, you know, together forever. So, as Paleomancer, I proceeded to move forward with that. And see, this one doesn't even have the highlights. Maybe I overwrote it. Maybe I did. We'll stick with this one. You see how this one has the highlights near the edges of the faces? This is fine. But yeah, no, originally the idea came about, I was talking with one of my friends who I was working with, and it became an inside joke for a while, where it was like this Cat Hydra. I forgot what it was. I think it was something to do with, it was like a weird kind of creepy picture of a cat that had like, was glitched. This is how I remember it. I don't know if it's 100% true or not. And then I mentioned how it was like a Cat Hydra, and then proceeded to be cursed with the image of a Cat Hydra and what kind of abomination that would look like. So it became kind of like an inside joke for a while. But then when I started going to the stream and like thinking of ideas as far as things that, you know, you chat can interact with, this is one of the ones that came into my head where I was like, you know what? I think people would like it. I think it would be kind of cool to have this amalgamation of a litter of saber-toothed tigers, specifically of cubs of saber-toothed tigers, and like maybe even like possess the head, where it gives you special commands to interact with and special animations and all that other kind of cool stuff. So this is on, but unfortunately I made this in Procreate. Which it seems, at least for VTuber Studio and all that other kind of stuff, much more aligns with Clip Studio art, or Clip Studio. And so I might have to redraw, but I mean, this was my first attempt, you know? So who knows? If I try it a second time, we'll probably be even better, you know? But yeah, each as far as the name for the Cat Hydra, I was literally looking this up last night. I'm thinking Sylvester. So the Cat Hydra's name is Sylvester. And you guys can let me know how you feel about that. But I like that. I like it. It kind of has, especially with like Sylvester the cat, kind of came in there. But I also kind of wanted each letter, like it be an abbreviation for something, and have that abbreviation be linked to the color. But yeah, overall, I mean, it definitely needs work. But most of the things that I'm working on needs work. But I think it would be fun to animate. I think it would be fun to interact with, and I think y'all would really like it. But today, we're not gonna go the cutesy route. We're gonna try horror again, like full on drawing horror again. And I mean, I'm still rusty with it, but I'm at least more confident in horror than I am in, you know, anime style and working on off of reference and trying the blind methods and all that other kind of stuff. We're just gonna draw today. We're just gonna draw without really a care. I mean, if there were a good amount of you in chat, y'all can give me suggestions. So in the future, we can go down that route. Where today we're just gonna vibe. We're just gonna draw some horror related stuff, and we're just gonna go from there. So we're gonna do a new one. We'll do screen size. You always want to do off-white, by the way. You don't want to go full white. The background, you want to be able to kind of like, it would be more beneficial if it was a little more accurate as far as the actual background that you want to use. But right now we don't even know where we want to draw. I know it's going to be horror related, but besides that, that's about it. But you never want to go full black and you never want to go full white unless you are going into like super dark shadings or super bright highlights. This is definitely still in pen mode, but we want see, I don't like the pins where it's like I'm drawing on an angle, so it's thinking that I'm drawing like the side of a pencil, and I don't want that. Yeah, see how it's different? And unfortunately, I'm not skilled enough to be able to manipulate it quite yet. Let's see. Taper, shape, grain, dynamics, Apple Pencil, see what happens with this. Nope. I think it was like 9. I think is what it was. I don't know what it is. That's why I've always stuck to like the ink ones. Or at least some of the ink ones. I think it was syrup. See, it doesn't matter if it's tilted or not. Huh? Why? Oh. Erase. Duh. Also, probably should make a new layer. Yeah? What are we feeling? Oh, it's so dark. I might just have to suck it up and just hold it in a particular way. Today we're not trying to draw well. We're just drawing. Worked on the YouTube channel yesterday, and and you know, I decided to kind of separate the VOD channel with its own kind of like main channel where like shorts and edited videos may go into. I was originally going to make one where it was separate between the games and the work on like art, working on skills and all that other kind of stuff, but it turns out you could only use your phone number like for 2 channels. So I can only do 2 channels right now. So even it may hurt, that's what I can. Well, in 2 years, or in 1 year rather, you can only do 2 channels per year. So I have to wait a whole year before I can make a 3rd one. Which was fine. As far as what I'm drawing, I have no idea. I'm just letting my mind kind of do it. I have a certain love of snakes. I'm always a huge fan of spines, like spines and things coming out of the spinal cord. And we're just gonna make it super creepy. We're just gonna keep on working on it. I've found that in the past, one of my biggest issues with drawing, because when I watch like people who are really good at drawing draw, I'm like, okay, cool, I can do what they're doing for like 5 minutes, And then I'm like, oh, they just keep going. They just keep going at it. And so it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm at that skill level. And now I'm like, wait, never mind. So one of the things that I learned is, gotta keep on going at it. And I kind of want to like that. Yeah, but what's it looking at? What is it so interested in? Do we want to make it really big? Do we want to do like a perspective piece where it's just like, then you have like the wizard? Should we do like a stereotypical wizard piece? I think it'd be my first, where you just have like a guy who's just like, hey, holy shit, that's a big snake. I don't have to worry about the legs, right? He's not even really facing the guy, is he? Let's see. Why is my eraser only erasing like... That's one of the biggest complaints that I've had with eraser on paper, like real life paper, is that when you erase it leaves like a mark. And I'm like, I don't want to leave any marks. See that nonsense? And it's on the ink one. I don't know why. I don't know why. Holy crap, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. Ooh. Maybe that can be kind of cool. What if we went the ghost route? Alright. Let's go the ghost route. And by that, I mean... let's take this guy, and let's make it a little more dynamic, right? So what if we... let's have the camera or the point of view be looking up, and it's like on the way up you just see these souls scattered about. So like... maybe a little lower. I forgot how to... Yeah, like that. Oh, what? And then you would have this guy where he's like, maybe I won't have the tooth blocking his eye there. Maybe we can play with light a bit. Maybe some light shines down. Maybe some, because I'm thinking some ghostly apparitions. They like spiral counterclockwise. You know? And then maybe there's like things sticking out. Like trees sticking out of the walls. Moss and rocks. Or do we want to keep it like heavily mystified, you know? If I remember correctly, you want to do background first, then you can move forward to the foreground, right? So we'll do that. There we go. And then for this one, we'll do it for like 50% opacity. So you can kind of get a feel of what we want. And this one is going to be background. What do we want? We want kind of like, do we want more of like a dark, like that? Kind of like that. Because I feel like the background should be dark. Maybe a little more blue? Oh, that's rough. Whoops. There we go. Maybe a little darker. And then so the way that it works is that the brighter something is, you want it less, what's the word I'm looking for? You want it more colorful, the brighter it is. Because that's, color is a reflection of light, right? So the more where the light is, the more color it should be. So it would be like, that would be the top of it, right? And then make it a little darker. Maybe a little. Right now is like all the light hitting the rocks. What I'm thinking maybe what we can do is like this, but make this one kind of like that. And then we actually take the eraser tool. I feel like I need a potentially different brush for this. Maybe. Bad. That might not be bad for like tree bark, but for this, no. No. Grunge. Let's try grunge. Ooh. Let's see. What if we did spiral? Can you tell? A little bit. Sorry for the nudge. Well, let's see if I might need to take this off. Yeah, that's what I thought. Click it back on. Well, it definitely looks off. Definitely isn't that much. Let's see here. That, and then we're gonna do that. I'm definitely getting distracted. I'm not really making cool creatures that I'm used to. I'm trying to do background shit. Which I'm not used to. Yeah, that's fine. In case it wasn't obvious that I kind of don't know what I'm doing. But today... we're just gonna try. And we'll do like the things in the mist. Just a little brighter than that. Like that much. This one will also do like oops. Like a 75%. Try 50 for now. Make it a little bigger. And then we'll have one of them just kind of checking them out a little bit. And then we'll have a lot of them spiraling around near the top. Get it up the size a bit, so I'm not just trying to draw on something that's obviously not meant for that size. Let's get the eraser in here. And we're gonna try to erase some of this. Ooh, way too much, way too big. Just a little bits here and there. Because when you only add but you don't subtract, it looks a little odd. Especially if you want to make your wisps kind of like sharp. That's how I've learned. See how it's a little more sharper edged now? I didn't like that last little bit. As you can tell, it's very purple. So we need to make, we're having kind of the base of the guy kind of like green. This is where I've seen different people do different things. Some people do like the lasso tool and use that as kind of like the edges that they want to utilize. Maybe we could try that. See how that color looks with this. Okay. Oh, did I not? Oh, the roof is way up there. Gotcha, gotcha. So we should be seeing it. Why can't we see it? Is it just that? Gotcha. What I'm kind of thinking is this one having kind of more of a brown. Maybe a little bit almost orange brown. Nope. Why did it do that? What if I did that? Are we good? Why did it switch? Why is it different now? See, it switched to a different, slightly different shade of brown. Why did it do that? Why is it different? What did I do? Fine, we'll go to this one. This is what I'm thinking for the underpart. The underpart is kind of like this, where you see the like bones, you see the gristle, you know. So let's put this behind here, then do that. Then that's the background of the bottom. The bones are kind of like a off yellow, almost like not quite ivory, but like egg white with just a touch of yellow. And here I am coloring, which I'm not used to doing. This is supposed to be a day of confidence. Yet I can't seem to help myself. So I think this is where people also do it. So they do like this. And then they just do this. Come on. Right. It's honestly not bad. Right? And then you don't have to worry about, you get the edges nice and crisp. I wonder if I can do this. So you can tell that there's a decent difference. So now we add the flesh. This will be more of a dark. Almost sinewy. Honestly, this one I'm going to try a little bit. Some here. This one I'm actually going to make a little bit opaque. We'll see how it looks. Maybe like 90. Do I want to fill in all this with the red? I might.
I'm purposely kind of like over it a little bit. I think this one needs to have a little bit more white to it. Kind of like and then we go to this. Where you can kind of see it a little bit, poking out from the underneath. And then now, so we have the viscera. We need the organs. So we're just gonna do that. We're gonna go a little bit darker. It's gonna be kind of like what if we did it underneath all this? We'll do underneath and then we'll just erase what we don't need. And then what we'll do is that we'll go back to here. starting to lose a little bit of steam. I kind of was like, I don't like it anymore. But let's try to make it to the end, yeah? Get the eyes. Alright, how does it look? As far as what I wanted to draw versus what I drew, okay. It's alright, it's not great. Let's see. I would like to save it. Okay, it's not. This time we'll try to stick to just drawing, because before I used to, it was sketch, it wasn't color. I wasn't confident in my colors at all. Let me see something. Maybe this will help. The line is a little okay, so we're done with it. I am with the philosophy that if you are drawing and you're trying to get the creative juices out and about, you want, like, that's the time for like support. That's the time where it's like you want that creative freedom, you want that you got this, you want the support mindset, because that's what's going to get you through the end of it. And then once you are out of that headspace of creativity, that's when you go back and you look at it objectively as far as things to improve. Because if you try to do both at the same time, in my experience, you demotivate yourself. Like, it's so hard to finish something when you're so hard on yourself while you're not even done making it. So, because there are often arguments for both sides, right? If you are constantly being supportive without being objective or giving feedback, you're never going to improve. But if you're constantly objective and pointing out flaws, you're gonna hate the process. Right? It's like, it's gonna be such a slog. So you need both. There's a time to do both. And this answer is also an answer for the, you know, the age-old I wouldn't say age-old, but
whenever you hear about a conflict between a man and a woman where let's give the example of being in a relationship, right? And your partner comes to you and talks about how rough their day was, and this thing went wrong and this went wrong, and all these things it was just a bad kind of day. And the man, not fully understanding what kind of feedback that she wanted, was trying to fix the problem, right? He would give advice being like, hey, instead of doing this, why don't you talk to them this way, or why don't you try this? And immediately it's just not a good idea, right? It's like the reaction is very negative, it's very defensive, because it's received as they feel like they're being told that they're dumb, right? Which wasn't the case, but this is a good example of that kind of dichotomy, where there is a time for certain kinds of feedback. It kind of goes with I forget who said it, but the honesty without tact is cruelty. And there is a story where I forgot what comedian it was, but he was talking about how he went to a friend's play. He got invited to a play that their friend was in. They were like one of the main roles, and it was bad. It was really bad. It was not a good play. But when the play was over and she was so excited and elated and she was so proud of herself, when she asked what he felt, like did he like the play, he said, I am so happy that you invited me to this. Which was the truth. It didn't really answer the question, but it was the truth. And, you know, she was super happy to hear that, and she went on her day. And then the following day, he called her up and said, hey, is it all right if I can give you some feedback regarding the play yesterday? And she received the feedback really well. And that's because the emotions were running high anymore. If he said and gave that honest feedback right then and there when she was so proud and so elated and so happy, that would just ruin her night. And more than likely, she wouldn't take any of it to heart. She would consider it cruelty. So similar to that in the listening and giving feedback part, people need to know when to give proper feedback to people in the way that it is being needed. So in my experience, at least, in the example of the couple who there was a disconnect as far as the kind of feedback that was asked, she very much needed the feedback of support. Not to fix the problem, not constructive feedback, the one where it's just, you support them. You're like, man, that's really tough. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Or let's do something to make yourself feel better. Like, well, that's more fixing it, but at least it doesn't give the impression of like you did something wrong, right? Even if they did, when they're in the heat of it, when you're in the heat of it, it is not the time to be objective, and it's not the time to be where I'm going to be fixing the problem, because quite frankly, humans are just emotional creatures. Like, there is a time and place for everything. And when you're especially in a creative process, especially if you tie yourself to your art, like I definitely do, like, it's so tough to be that vulnerable. The fact that you're even willing to present something so honest is huge.
a lot of people can't do that. So when it comes to those times, when it comes to those experiences, you need to be kind to yourself during the process. You need to support yourself. And I think if people did that a little more often, they would finish things a little more often. For me, I've always hit a wall where I'm like, I hate this, and then I'm just crawling through it as the winds of objective, just, this is horrible. I'm gonna have to, it's already hard enough trying to crawl through it, with let alone with the wind against your face, you know? So it's like, is this the greatest? No, not in the slightest. But I like where my head's at. I like the idea of this undead snake creature looking up at this spiraling cave of souls. And I like that. I like where the idea comes from. Was I able to do it well? Now that I'm done with it and I don't feel like my emotions are tied for it, I can allow myself to be objective. Right? So the objective, in my experience, in this case, is like, this is too straight. This needs to be kind of like, it'd be kind of cool if it was like that. Right? Like the spines over here really weren't taken care of. You have like some shading. I think I need to look at more references on shadings of rocks, because these just don't look good. Right? The souls, there needs to be more of these. There needs to be like a cloud of them. And I think it was just more or less, I just didn't want to draw all of it. I think that was just the end of it. But you know, there are shortcuts that you can do in order to kind of get through that. A lot of purple, a good amount of green. It really does make the creature pop. Now, is this creature the same as like this creature? Not really. Kinda, but not really. But, you know, it's okay. Is how I would put it. And that's a long way from where I was. Which was, I hate it. Or I wouldn't touch colors. Because I hated the way my colors looked on my drawings. I felt like it ruined it every time. But now, they're okay. And going from hating the things that you draw to finding them okay is huge. It's good. And today is just about drawing what we want, seeing where we're at, and just kind of vibe checking ourselves a bit. You know? See how we're doing. See how we like things. Right? Let's see here. We're about an hour in. Take a little bit of a sip. Let's do another one. FYI, there will be no stream tonight. I'm currently in the process of reassessing the schedule. I still like the 2 to 6 a lot. Yesterday in particular, I'm kind of paying attention to see what feels right as far as like when do I feel like I should be streaming. Yesterday afternoon, I feel like I should have been streaming. And originally I gave myself Tuesday, Thursday off strictly because I need, like, it gave me room to do adult stuff. But I kind of had a I wouldn't say epiphany, but a realization of like, hey, you don't start till 2. It's like, yeah, I get up at like 10 or 11 in the morning, which is my natural rhythm is like 2 to 10. I usually sleep till 11 if I end up staying up too late. But the point is the fact that if I have an appointment,
I could do it earlier in the morning. I could do it at a different time. If it's grocery shopping, like I went grocery shopping today and it was just fine because I don't work out today. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, after, it feels weird to work out without having a stream after. So I think I'm going to start up Tuesdays again. Tuesday afternoon, or Tuesday evening rather. I didn't feel as much of a pull to do that one. But we'll see. The afternoon streams are like, I'm working on things. These are game design. These are art. These are like what we're dealing with right now. And the evening streams are we play games, right? But I also need time to like make shorts, edit the videos, put them on the YouTube to try to get in people, right? Because as of right now, it's only with just depending on Twitch, it's gonna take years in order to get any kind of following, right? But by utilizing YouTube, you're able to pull through. So yeah, and I don't have necessarily the draw of like, oh, I'm an expert artist, or I'm an expert designer, game designer, or things of that nature, where it's just like, oh, we can do that. I am basic average Joe at best. Like the whole point of is improvement, and that means it's not as eye catching. So I need to be able to put myself out more in that aspect. After trying editing and making shorts and making short-term videos and all that kind of stuff, or long-term edited videos as well, you know, if I feel like I'm not able to put out as much as I really want to as far as content, then maybe I will go into hiring an editor, you know. But at the very least, I want to give it a shot. I want to see if I like it. I want to see if it's something that I would enjoy learning and growing in, because editing in of itself is also a skill that I would love to be able to develop. I am in agreement that time is one of the things that we should value most of all. But I'm moving forward with this with the mindset of like, I will eventually be good. Time, it will happen eventually, right? I'm in no rush, because when you rush, you burn out. And I am so sick and tired of burning out. So we're going to try to take this slow, and we're going to try to do this right. Okay. Let's do another one. We've only been here for an hour. Let's try a person. Ish. I love antlers.
Man, am I rusty. As you can tell, my proportions are still not great. I've always struggled with proportions. That's why. That's why we practice. Little bow-legged. Honestly, it was better if it was just the front. Maybe some kind of like the bones are becoming, there's antlers sprouting everywhere. Eh. What else? How are we doing as far as... %? Okay. Or how I said I was confident in my horror drawing. I don't think that's the case anymore. It also is the fact that I'm drawing without any kind of sort of plan or inspiration. It's hard to say. But this is what we wanted today. Kind of wing it. It's a lot going on. I don't know. What are we feeling? What are we thinking? Not really thinking much of anything, really. Sorry, I got a message on Discord. I don't know. I honestly thought, I don't know what I thought. Let's do outrageous things. Let's just... Just whatever tickles our fancy. Did y'all ever do this when you were a kid? Kind of like these weird scribbles. I have no idea what this is or why I drew it. I don't even know if it looks good. But, yeah, we're just adding that to the list, I guess. We got antler weirdness. We got Scorpion Man, and then we got wrinkly skull. I guess that's what we're going with today. I've heard that if you, a lot of people just draw, something tells me I'm not doing it right. They just draw random lines until they see something. Kind of when you're staring at your popcorn ceiling and there. My greatest masterpiece. You'll see this on museums everywhere. Oh man, I don't know why I want to keep it, but I will. I don't know. We did get invited to Helldivers. And I thought I'd be a lot more into the drawing of the horror than I am. Well, we can take a moment. We've been drawing for about an hour and a half after all. As far as the plans for tomorrow, apparently there's a new kind of like Satisfactory like game called Foundry coming out tomorrow. I plan on getting that and playing that for y'all. So even though I don't usually stream Thursdays, just for you, I'll stream tomorrow afternoon. So today in particular, it doesn't feel like... I don't know. I don't know if the afternoon slot is good for streaming for Wednesday. I don't know if it's just Wednesday in general or just today in general. Ugh. Or what we're doing isn't necessarily what I want to do. But honestly, it's a little tough to tell, you know? While we're just sitting here, I'll go ahead and leave the skull, I guess. Or do you guys want the skull, the Scorpion Man, or the Antler Man? I don't know which one y'all prefer, but let's do the skull for now. I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, let's just play Planet Crafter, but even then, not really, you know? We can hop over to the archipelago, Perfectorio, see what's going on. We maybe have things of that nature. Um. Maybe we could do Helldivers. Let me see if they're still doing it. I'm following up with them now. See if they want to play some Helldivers. Because if I'm already considering playing a game in general, might as well play it with some friends, you know? Maybe today is a lack of planning, or maybe just not feeling very spooky. Just also going through my games, seeing Pacific Drive is one that I want to show y'all, but that's not a like 2-hour game, you know what I mean? Even Planet Crafter I wouldn't recommend is like a 2-hour game. I did get an email on Potionomics. For those that don't know, Potionomics is like a really fun kind of like potion making slash what do you call them, where you kind of like build relationships and stuff like that. I guess RPGs in general. There's like a deck builder, potion making RPG kind of thing, and it's fun, but it's tough. I could definitely see myself doing that one, but again, not a 2-hour game. Let's see. Void Train, Wild Frost. I'm afraid of doing content warning because the last time I did that with randoms, it muted the stream. So, and that's either because of me or the game auto mutes. We could do Dredge. We could do potion craft. We can craft some potions. I do like crafting potions. Wait. What was that one? Okay, there was this one. Let's see if I can find it. Crap. It was from Second Wind. It was Botany Manor. Y'all want to do that one? I was actually looking forward to it. Botany Manor. Yeah. It's a puzzle game where you have to go around and find like the right information for planting the right plants and growing them in the right like environment, but you need to find the clues of what they want and need. It looks fun, and I love that kind of shit. Yeah, let's play that. Let me download that. It looks like it's a small game. Considering how fast, I was like, oh, let's do it. Maybe that's exactly what I needed to do, you know? All right, we're gonna switch not the window capture. We're gonna do the game capture. Ooh, that's loud. Ooh, oh, it's breaking. Everything's breaking.